been a while since you've had me talking on video, so here I am, just for a little bit at least. And I just wanted to share something that I thought was quite funny. You know, sometimes when you buy things from Asia and translation doesn't always quite work. Well, this happened to me when I decided to purchase some really cute stickers that look really pretty online. When I received them, most of the writing didn't make any sense, and I thought that was quite funny. Let me share a few with you. So this one says, Kuma Hello Asteria. Anybody knows what that means? Please let me know. Sunflower Twinkle Smithereens. Again, no idea. Let's see what else we got that's quite funny. I thought this one was a bit weird. Save the date, Happy New Year. I thought save the date was pretty much for weddings, but anyway. And this one says, sing the dolphin song. I didn't know dolphins could actually sing, technically. Laugh, yes, but sing, I don't know. Yeah, I like this one as well. Kiss me slowly, hello February. What? Should I do a few more? Blessing, I miss you. Yeah, don't know about that one. What else do we have? Love Cupid is stupid. Love Cupid is stupid. Okay, yeah, sure. Why not? You are invited. Bonjour. Okay, yeah. And the last one, best wishes, sweet here. There's a typo there. Funny, right? But anyway, so I've got all these cute stickers. They're still pretty if you don't actually read the text, but what can you do with them? I mean, don't chuck them if you've got anything like that. Maybe we could just use them in the background so you can't actually see what's written on them. Yeah, I think that's the best option really, because I don't know what else to do with them. So I've got a background here that's not really doing much, you know, kind of like a few, a bit of a cleanup page and, you know, a few bits and pieces. It's really not happening at all. So maybe I thought I'll just stick some of those stickers in the background just to create some texture and then maybe paint over it. I don't know yet. Let's just see what happens. I feel better because I've used all those little stickers and I've made something that actually looks okay. If you don't read the text as such, or if you don't read the whole sticker in one go, then some of the words still make sense. So at least we've used them and not wasted them. So I think I'm going to do a layer of gel medium on top just so I can add a few things afterwards. Now we have a background we can actually play with. One thing I didn't mention is that I really like the texture of the stickers. They were more like almost like a deli paper kind of feel, you know, slightly translucent and very thin. So I really like that, but you know, there were a few, I must say, that did make sense in the pack. I just showed you, I don't know, maybe about at least 50% to 70% of the pack that was, you know, like this, that didn't make much sense for us English speakers. Alright, so now we've got a nice little background to play with, and because I've put gel medium, everything is nicely sealed and glued and can accept paint or anything I want to throw at it. So first of all, I thought I'd just add a little bit of color with a bit of my favorite brand, Liquitex Basics. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I just love this paint because it just allows you to create layers and just to create opacity if you also want to do that. But you know, it's quite versatile and the colors are really pretty. So let's make this background pop a little bit by adding just a wee bit of color here and there. And you can see now that it doesn't matter what the text on the stickers said because I'm going to cover most of it anyway. I kind of have to if I wanted to make some kind of sense, I suppose. So I'm just doing it in very thin layers and just adding some color. My favorite way of adding paint, finger painting. For those of you who've been following me for a few years, I think you know that by now. Let's see, maybe a little bit of pink would be nice. And you can see how I'm applying it quite thin, and I can still see the background, so none of this wording is completely wasted. Although I might, I may cover it up further, who knows? You just never know. And if you put a little bit too much somewhere, you think it's a little bit too opaque, just grab your baby wipe and just sort of rub it over until you've got just the right amount that you wanted. Okay, that's pretty much all I want to do for this layer. Okay, so this is what we've got for now. I have a bit of trouble, reversing, showing things on camera. It's really hard my brain doesn't quite compute when I have to reverse things, so here you go. And let's see, what else can we do? Let's dry this paint first of all and put this away. It was quite thin, so it doesn't take long to dry at all. What can we do next? You can see I'm going with the flow here. I have nothing planned at all, so we'll just do it layer by layer. I'm thinking we could maybe add a bit of extra color. I'm going to use some acrylic ink, pearlescent acrylic ink, and that's an FW brand by Della Rowney. If you like this, then you can get it in my store, mixedmediastore.com.au. So I've got mine just in little dropper bottles like this, because it just saves desk space, and it's just easy to apply this way. This is Hot Mama Red, so this is a pearlescent liquid acrylic. Maybe I'll just do a couple of drips there, and then also another color. Let's see, maybe some purple. This is Moon Violet, FW acrylic ink as well, and pearlescent. I just love those. Anything metallic, iridescent, pearlescent, I'm there. So I spray that with some water just to make the ink flow and disperse. Maybe make it run a little bit, not too much. Just like that. Just adding a bit of texture. It's a bit liquid, so I won't show you until it's dry. Let me dry this off. That might take a little while because it's quite liquid. Okay, I think this is mostly dry. Let me show you here. Hopefully you can see how pretty the iridescent shine, or pearlescent iridescent is. Maybe a little bit closer in the light. There you can see pretty clearly here. Again, sorry, I have problem reversing. But anyway, you get the idea. Okay, what to do next? I'm thinking maybe I can add maybe a stamp. Let's do some stamping. Let me just find something I like. I think I'm gonna go with the Tim Holtz flutter set. So some really pretty butterflies. I've cut my sheet in half so it would fit in my little storage pockets here. But it comes as one big sheet, like this. And I'm thinking I'll use those on top of my background, just some fluttering butterflies. Let's do that, and some black ink. I'm gonna use my trusty StazOn black ink. You could use Ranger Archival ink as well, anything permanent. And if I can find an acrylic block, yep, there we go. Do a few butterflies. I'm just going to clean this up on a sheet. I don't want to add the same butterfly everywhere. These are really gorgeous stamps. They're just so detailed. It's not completely obvious on what I'm doing here because I've got a bit of texture in the background, and when you have texture, you know, it's always hard to get a 100% clean imprint of your stamp. Let's just fill the page with butterflies. Just putting a few of them a little bit off the page. And one last, let's try the other sheet, see what we've got in there. Oh, this nice big one here is pretty. Okay, I think that'll be enough with the butterflies for now. Let me show you where we're at. Here. So you may not see any of the butterflies by the end of this, but we know they're there. They're on video, therefore we know they were there. Gonna give this a quick blast of heat to make sure it's all heat set. Now I think I'm gonna add some texture with a stencil. So let's find something that would work well here. My page is quite small, so I don't need anything too chunky. I'm thinking, you know, something a little bit detailed. Maybe, let's see. The Tim Holtz stencils are always a go-to and a favorite of mine. There's so many you can play with, and just so many great textures as well. Let's see, so I'm looking for something that's a little bit detailed, nothing too chunky. This is obviously always a favorite, the honeycomb one. You could put some of those. Yeah, let's just go with that. It's not too detailed, but that will work well, I think. I think anything like circles and little hexagons like this always work on everything. Actually, this is not honeycomb, I think it's called chicken wire or something like that. Then I'll need a makeup sponge. Done. This one can go away. And some paint. So here I'm thinking of repeating one of the colors I have in the background just to make everything uniform. So I'm going to go back to my Liquitex Basics palette and use a little bit of this blue that we had before in the background. I'm just going to grab some straight onto my sponge and just add a little bit of detail. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's subtle, which is what I wanted for now. That's enough. And let's dry this off. And then I'm thinking I need some white to make things pop. So I could use white paint or white gesso as long as it's quite opaque. Some texture paste or modeling paste. Let's just go with... Well, modeling paste or texture paste will take a little bit longer to dry. I'll cut this off. So maybe I'll just use some white gesso for now. That'll be enough. And I'm going to use another favorite of mine, which is the Dot Fade stencil, and another makeup sponge and a little bit of gesso. Just to add some little detail right on top that will pop, but in a subtle way. So this stencil, the dot fade stencil, this is actually the mini version, so the holes are really tiny, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing, depends what you want to do. In this case, it works for me because I want things to be subtle. That also means I have to push a little bit harder on my sponge to make sure the gesso actually goes through the holes. Yep, nice. I'm getting a bit clogged up here, which is easily, it's a problem that happens easily because the holes are so small. And just a bit in the corner there. It's really nice, really like that. And then I have to force myself to stop, which is really hard. Okay, let's stop here. We don't want to cover the entire thing because it defeats the purpose a little bit. If you add detail all over, then it's not a detail anymore. Okay, that's the stencil pretty much cleaned in a hurry. That will do. Quick blast of heat again to make sure this is all nice and dry. Now I'm going to use I think some black to repeat the black that we already have here, just to create a subtle border, so nothing too strong. Let's see, I'm just going to use my gelato, the black gelato, to add a quick border. Well, it is a little strong, but it's softened up. So it's just going to make a really super easy border that makes everything else stand out. A bit more here. Ooh, I'm liking this a lot. Okay, this is where we're at. Whoops. Now I could leave it like this and leave it sort of a bit abstract, or I could add a little quote maybe. I'm thinking one of the Team Hole stickers would work well. Okay, I didn't have to go too far because the first page has some already interesting little quotes. This one says, "Live your dream with passion," which I am. And I'm going to plonk it just here. And that's it. I think actually one more step, one more layer, a little bit more gold, which we had a little bit of in the background. Obviously I wanted to cover up most of it so you can't really see it that much anymore. So maybe a little bit of some kind of gold. I'm just going to fix this border and add a bit more black. Here we go, now I'm good. I'm going to use a Marabou Arts crayon. This is a gold one, just to add just a little bit of goldness. Some scribbly goldness. And a little bit over the quote as well, so it all kind of blends in with the background. Okay, that's it. I'm happy with this. So let me show you a close-up with my painty fingers. Okay, this is the page. Apologies, I told you I was a little bit retarded. So let's do up here. Okay, I hope that has given you a little bit of inspiration, that you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you'd like to learn more with me, make sure to visit my website, mimibondi.com. I have a few online workshops you can take, you know, regardless of where you are in the world. And if you're able to make it to one of my studio workshops, then I'd really love to meet you and have some fun mixed media playtime with you. So make sure to have a look on my website.